Incheon Airport, which is usually crowded by international passengers, this morning turned into a sea of people who are almost unstoppable. Since the early hours of the morning, hundreds of fans have gathered at the door of the international arrivals. They stood crammed together, some even sitting on the floor holding BTS's official banners, and light sticks. The smell of coffee mingled with the perfume of the passengers filled the air, while the boisterous voices of the fans' conversations continued to be heard between announcements from the airport loudspeakers. All of them were waiting for only one thing: the rumored appearance of BTS's Jimin and Jin arriving together from a never officially announced itinerary. Word of their arrival spread quickly in just a matter of hours. Initially, a fan account on Twitter posted information that a certain flight from Japan to Seoul today recorded 2 VIP passengers believed to be Jimin and Jin. The information, although not confirmed by HYB, immediately went viral. ARMY, as BTS fans are called, reacted quickly. They shared flight path information, estimated landing times, and even shared airport maps to predict where the two idols would exit. In just under 2 hours, the international terminal was already packed with fans who came from various cities, some even claiming to have just arrived from Busan just to witness this moment. Around 10:30 a.m., the atmosphere of the airport began to heat up. Additional security personnel appeared to be deployed to the arrival gate area. The dividing line is installed more tightly, and the intercom voice repeatedly reminds passengers to keep their distance for safety. However, each passing minute only makes the tension more pronounced. Some fans were seen peering into the hallway behind the glass door, hoping to be the first to see the silhouette of Jimin or Jin. Then, at exactly 10:47, sudden cheers broke out. From a distance, 2 figures in black jackets and medical masks began to be seen. Although their faces were partially covered, their street style was enough to trigger hysteria. Jimin, with his hair slightly covered by a black bucket hat, stepped quickly but still greeted with a small nod. Next to her, Jin looks relaxed in an oversized gray sweater and a black crossbody bag that has become her trademark. The cameras began to flicker nonstop, and within seconds, the sound of screams calling out their names echoed throughout the terminal.
Jima!
Jin Oppa, shouted some fans while raising their hands high, trying to attract attention. Despite the increasingly dense crowd, the two continued to walk hand in hand, flanked by security teams who moved quickly to pave the way. A few seconds later, the atmosphere became even more boisterous when Jimin waved his hand briefly before looking down, while Jin gave his signature greeting by raising one hand with a slight smile behind the mask. On social media, live broadcasts from this location are already filled with thousands of viewers. Some fan accounts even managed to record the moment when Jimin was seen turning his head towards Jin while talking briefly, although his voice was inaudible due to the noise. Speculation immediately sprang up. Some suspect that the two have just returned from a secret photo shoot or BTS special project preparation, while others speculate that this is part of an unexpected promotion that HYB will announce in the near future. Airport officials admit that the simultaneous arrival of 2 BTS members rarely happens without an official announcement. Usually we get a notification to arrange VIP passenger flow, but this time the information came suddenly. We had to move quickly because the number of fans who attended was beyond expectations, said one of the security staff, who declined to be named. He also added that this morning was one of the densest moments in the terminal in the last 3 months. And the crowd, there were some emotional fans. A young woman from Japan couldn't hold back tears when she saw the two pass by. I flew in last night from Tokyo after seeing the rumors on Twitter. I don't care if it's just a few seconds, I just want to see them together, he said, clutching a banner that read, "Welcome home, Jimin and Jin." After walking nearly 200 meters through the arrival corridor, Jimin and Jin finally reached the pickup area. There, several black fans were already waiting. Jimin had turned his head once more and waved before getting into the vehicle. Jin, who was walking a little behind, took a few extra seconds to duck his head in greeting, as if to make sure the fans felt cared for. Shortly after they left the airport, the keyword Jimin and Jin instantly rose to the top of the global trending topic rankings on Twitter. Videos and photos from the moment of arrival were spread across all social media platforms, from Instagram, TikTok, to Weibo. Many fans compared the atmosphere of the airport this morning to a mini concert full of energy. Although HYB has not yet given an official statement on the purpose of the two's trip, entertainment analysts predict that this could signal the start of a BTS special project involving at least two members at once. Some also reminded that Jimin and Jin's togetherness in public is always a weighted moment because the two rarely have a joint agenda since Jin completed his military service. What is clear? This morning proves that BTS's appeal in the public eye never fades. One brief appearance is enough to turn the atmosphere of an international airport into a sea of love and cheers that echo throughout cyberspace. And for those who are present in person, this moment will be a story they will remember forever, about the day Jimin and Jin walked side by side through the arrivals gate, making it seem like the airport stopped operating just for them. A few minutes after the black van carrying Jimin and Jin left the airport area, the situation in the terminal slowly began to return to normal, although the remaining energy in the air was still felt. The fans who had just witnessed the moment showed each other the footage and photos they had taken, checked the quality of the shots, then laughed or shouted a little whenever they found a corner of the image that clearly displayed the expressions of the two idols. Some choose to directly upload them to social media, adding hashtags that quickly spread around the world. Outside the airport, the atmosphere is no less busy. Rows of private cars and taxis are busy delivering fans who want to go home or continue their journey to the city center. However, most are still holding on, hoping for a second chance to catch a glimpse as the vehicle carrying Jimin and Jin stops at a red light or crosses the main road into Seoul. Sometimes they open the window a little to wave their hands, said a fan who has experienced chasing BTS members' cars, smiling expectantly. Live coverage from several local media outlets began airing on television and online news portals. Major Korean TV stations dropped their reporters off on location to provide updates, complete with amateur video snippets taken by fans. In one scene, Jimin is clearly seen bowing his head long enough when passing through the crowd, while Jin appears to occasionally raise his hand to say hello. That simple gesture, for fans, is enough to be the subject of many hours of talk on Twitter. One of the 18-second videos showing Jimin and Jin walking hand in hand while occasionally looking at each other has been viewed more than 2 million times in just 3 hours. Comments from around the world flooded in, ranging from praise for their charming looks despite their casual attire, to speculation about what really goes on behind their journey together. Some guessed they had just done a secret photo shoot for a well-known magazine, while others thought they were preparing a special collaboration ahead of BTS's birthday celebration. Interestingly, some observant fans also noticed small details that may go unnoticed by most people. For example, Jimin's black bucket hat is said to be similar to the one he wore during a short holiday to Japan last year, while Jin's sling bag is believed to be a gift from one of his close associates in the music industry. For ARMY, these kinds of details aren't just trivia. They're part of a big story that builds emotional closeness between artists and their fans. On the other hand, HYB's management remained silent. There was no official statement, no confirmation, not even an upload from BTS's official social media accounts. This silence actually triggers a greater sense of curiosity. Several big fan sites took advantage of this moment to upload exclusive photos of their professional camera shots, featuring Jimin and Jin in image quality so clear that every detail of the expression is clearly visible. In one of the photos, Jin's faint smile behind the mask even managed to make thousands of fans flood the comments with heart emoticons and happy cries.